Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Gear Up. Here's what's in store for you today. A key player could be out of the Super Bowl. I give you my Pro Bowl prediction. Bud Selig expects a change in the MLB playoff system. Tennis history is made. And I give you my top 5 must-haves for a Super Bowl party. I'm Michael Peters, and you're watching Gear Up. We'll start with the NFL. Since late last Sunday night, the world has known the two teams that will be competing in the 46th Super Bowl in Indianapolis a week from today. Just in case you've been living under a rock, the Giants will take on the Patriots to decide this year's Super Bowl champion. This will be a rematch from the 2008 Super Bowl, when the Giants defeated the Patriots 17-14, and quarterback Eli Manning was the MVP. The Giants are hoping to repeat this, while the Patriots are looking for revenge. Let's take a look back at how both teams got to this point. In the AFC and NFC championship games, both of the losing teams made major mistakes that contributed to their losses. In the AFC championship, the Patriots defeated the Baltimore Ravens 23-20 in the first game on Championship Sunday. Tom Brady and the Pats had not one, but 2 Ravens to thank for the Super Bowl bid. In my opinion, the most important one was wide receiver Lee Evans, who was stripped of the ball in the end zone that surely would have led the Ravens to the Super Bowl. 2 plays later, kicker Billy Cundiff missed a 32-yard field goal with 11 seconds left, and the Patriots escaped despite 2 Ravens plays that should have given them at least a shot in overtime. Instead, the Patriots are playing in their 5th Super Bowl in 11 years. However, the Patriots have received a bit of bad news. Their tight end, Rob Gronkowski, has a high ankle sprain and is questionable for the Super Bowl. He injured his ankle in the AFC Championship game during the 3rd quarter, but returned to the game 5 minutes later. Gronkowski's dad, Gordy Gronkowski, said that his son would be ready to play for the game. In the NFC Championship, the Giants defeated the San Francisco 49ers 20-17 in the second and last game on Championship Sunday. The Giants had one main person to thank for the Super Bowl bid. The victim was Kyle Williams, who was responsible for losing 2 punts, with the most important one being a fumble in overtime, which eventually set up Lawrence Tynes' game-winning field goal. Without these 2 mistakes from Kyle Williams, the 49ers probably would have won the game. The list of teams preparing for next season increases as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers introduced their new head coach Greg Schiano on Friday afternoon. The Buccaneers have signed Schiano to a 5-year deal. Schiano previously coached the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, going 49-28 since 2006. This move could have a big impact on college football for the next few years, as starting on Wednesday, high school prospects sign national letters of intent to make their agreements official. Later on today, the virtually meaningless Pro Bowl will take place in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. The NFC has beaten the AFC in 4 of the last 6 games, including a high-scoring win last year, 55-41. I believe the NFC will win again this year because the AFC's best team, in my opinion, the Patriots, aren't going to have any players participating due to their Super Bowl bid. Also, the Green Bay Packers have 7 players selected to play in the Pro Bowl, one of which is starting quarterback Aaron Rodgers. I think the Packers are still pretty hyped up about their loss to the Giants in the playoffs and will be out trying to prove something tonight. The AFC starting quarterback is Ben Roethlisberger, who lost to the Broncos this postseason. I would take both Rodgers and backup quarterback Drew Brees over him. Not to mention, I think the NFC just has more talent than the AFC players. Now some MLB news. Free agent Roy Oswalt is likely to sign with the St. Louis Cardinals soon, a major league source said late Friday night. Cardinals GM John Mozeliak wrote that these are rumors and nothing more in an email to ESPN.com's Jerry Krasnick. In all likeliness, any agreement would be pending a physical for the 34-year-old pitcher, who has a history of back problems. MLB Commissioner Bud Selig expects the MLB playoffs to be expanded this season. Players and owners have agreed upon the idea of adding another wild card team in each league, but haven't decided whether this system will start in 2012 or 2013. The commissioner says there are scheduling issues to work out, but once they are solved, the MLB postseason would begin with a 1-game playoff. Now some NBA news. The Rockets defeat the Knicks to win 9 out of their last 10 games. However, the Knicks have lost for the 9th time in their last 10 games, and failed to reach 90 points for the fifth time in the last 7 games to fall to 7-13 last night. This is a real disappointment for the Knicks, even without their leading scorer Carmelo Anthony in the lineup. Now, some tennis news. Novak Djokovic defeats Rafael Nadal in the longest Grand Slam singles final ever, in just under 6 hours. Djokovic won his 3rd Australian Open title at 1:37 local time on Monday a.m. He became the 5th man since the Open era began in 1968 to win 3 straight Grand Slam finals. Victoria Azarenka annihilated 3-time Grand Slam winner Maria Sharapova in 1 hour and 22 minutes to win the Australian Open and the #1 ranking for the first time. Azarenka is a 22-year-old and the first woman to win a singles major from Belarus. Now for this week's edition of Mike Speaks Out. This week I'm going to be talking about whether all Super Bowls should be in warm climates or domes. The location for the 2014 Super Bowl has already been set, and it will be held at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. If you've never been to New Jersey in early February, let me inform you that it can get pretty cold outside, especially at night. Some people are criticizing the choice of having the Super Bowl in New Jersey because of the weather, and think that all Super Bowls should be in warm climates or domes. However, I disagree for a few reasons. First of all, many of the playoff games leading up to the Super Bowl are played in cold climates like New England, Pittsburgh, and Green Bay, and they still receive a capacity house. So why would the Super Bowl have to be in a warm climate or dome when there is just as much money to be made in a cold climate? Also, I don't know of any NFL players that complain about playing in a cold climate. If anything, they might like playing in a cold climate better than a warm climate, like Florida. I've seen many of the NFL players wearing short sleeves in below freezing or very cold weather during the past few weeks, probably because they get so warm and sweaty when playing football that the icy chill cools them off. Besides, who could complain about playing in the Super Bowl? If it gets cold out, you can always put layers on, but you can't play football in a t-shirt and shorts if you get too warm. Now for this day in sports history. In 1948, baseball commissioner Happy Chandler fines the Yankees, Cubs, and Phillies $500 each for signing high school players. And in 1980, the Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 154-153 in quadruple overtime. Now it's time for the top 5. Since it will be too late to prepare for a Super Bowl party a few hours before the game starts, I'll give you the top 5 things you need for a Super Bowl party this week. Whether you are hosting a party or attending one, you want to make sure it's the best it can be and you can have as much fun as possible. Here's the top 5. At 5, we have decorations. With decorations, everyone will know that this is a Super Bowl party and not a kid's birthday party. Hanging some streamers of team banners for the 2 teams playing will really liven up the atmosphere. 4, an unhealthy dinner. Who wants to eat healthy on the day of the Super Bowl? Order a pizza, wings, or make some chili, all Super Bowl favorites. If you're going to be watching the game for almost 4 hours, you're going to have to eat something. At 3, beer, or root beer for people my age. With all of the food, you're going to be thirsty and need something to wash it down with. Just don't drink too much, or you're going to get drunk, and most importantly, have to go to the bathroom during the game. At 2, we have a Super Bowl pool. You don't have to wager much, but some people will be leaving the party very happy. And at 1, a television. If you can't watch the game at a Super Bowl party, it's just a dinner with a few friends. Plus, you'll miss the whole game and all of the good commercials. Thank you for watching today's episode of Gear Up. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next week.